What's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Elzhi album entitled 7 Times Down, 8 Times Up. Let's get to it. Elzhi is a rapper coming out of Detroit, Michigan. He is the definition of a lyricist through and through. He's been rapping since the late 90s, but most people got their introduction to Elzhi when he joined Slum Village in 2002. But after his years with the group, he went on to pursue a solo career, dropping his debut album, The Preface, in 2008. But the first release that I checked for from Elzhi, to be honest, was his 2011 mixtape album entitled Elmatic. This was a really dope project that paid homage to Nas's Illmatic, but of course he put his own Detroit spin on it. Now, I have a confession to make. As dope as I recall Elzhi being, I never got around to checking out his other albums, and the reason being because his sound didn't really speak to me like that. However, I want to make it clear that I always respected Elzhi as an artist and recognized his talents as a dope MC because few are out rapping him. I just don't always relate as much to the artists who have that regular guy that raps image, with the exception of, let's say, Skyzoo and Big Crit. If I have to go with two non-street artists who I'm rocking with, it would be Skyzoo and Big Crit for sure. I don't know, maybe my ears and brain have been consumed with so much coke rap and mafioso rap over the years, but that is just what I prefer, so I gotta be all the way real about it. Just so it's clear, this is no shade to Elzhi if he is your ideal hip-hop artist, but after listening to this album, I was impressed by his lyrical purity and just ability to construct a really dope lyrical album. This project was produced entirely by J.R. Swifts, who many know as a producer for Griselda. He provided Elzhi with very traditional East Coast styled instrumentals. Most of them are mid-tempo boom bap beats, but there are a couple sample-based ones as well as a couple of aggressive and grittier beats. I think J.R. Swifts did a solid job on the boards, but there wasn't a whole lot of variety to the production. So if you aren't a fan of boom bap, then some of the production might come off as a little stale. But with that being said, let me hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The intro, Foolish, has this guy bigging up Elzhi over this smooth piano beat. This same person is actually featured throughout the album, and he says some pretty amusing things. He somewhat brings that comedy element to the project. The first song, Smoke and Mirrors, has this glorious and soulful instrumental. Elzhi is rapping faster with an atypical rhyme scheme. Took me a couple listens to get adjusted to it. He's doing some soul searching and inward examination here, and after all the introspection, he comes to the realization that he is meant to be a threat in the game. There is something about this that is giving me some Little Brother vibes, but it is a solid opener. The second track, Early Bird Night Owl, is actually somewhat of a hustler anthem. Although the instrumental is soothing, Elzhi is rapping pretty passionately. This was one of the tracks that I related to the most on this album. Not only was he spazzing lyrically, but I also liked the smooth yet rugged quality to the beat. Plus, I could appreciate the message of grinding and hustling. As he wisely put it, you'll never get over on a man that don't sleep. Elzhi also takes a shot at the lackluster rappers with the line, "Y'all be thinking y'all Nas when you really pros from the Fugees." Ouch, that gotta hurt, man. I don't know why Elzhi was going so hard on pros. I mean, I've heard the criticism for years that he was the weakest link in the Fugees, but still, that was kind of brutal, Elzhi. His second verse was giving me some Nas Illmatic vibes, if I'm gonna be honest, so be sure to check out that whole second verse as he was basically leaving Earth. Then we have what is probably my second favorite track, Hot Winter Cold Summer. This has that infamous louder DJ effect and a beat that sounds like it could have been on a Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Brand Nubian, or any of the DITC albums back in the mid 90s. I'm really loving this dreamy boom bap production here. The way Elzhi is rapping is so confident, plus this is mixed with just the right amount of wit and braggadocio. He states, I know the game is looking for artists who sound the same, trying to make a name, fortune, and fame, but that's a lame move because look what they became. What follows is Light One, Right One, which takes you inside Elzhi's writing process, but this could easily be looked at as a weed track, but he's essentially letting you know that the illest bars that he pens are made possible after lighting up. You may also recognize the angelic soul sample used here, which was used by AZ from his Asiatic album. Still getting some early Nas vibes from his flow here. A few lines that jumped out to me were, they take a left turn in alleyways where you can smell the meth burn. I wonder who they bought it from and just how much the chef earned to make a fiend out of some teen that looked like Audrey Hepburn. Elzhi switches gears on the next few songs to do some storytelling. The track Ferndale finds Elzhi reminiscing back on the days of chilling with this girl. It's a romantic storytelling track on top of a very smooth and soulful instrumental. After this, we get two more storytelling tracks that are supposed to appear as screenplays for back-to-back grindhouse movies. They are both showing Elzhi in his imaginative and creative bag. They aren't the kind of storytelling songs that you would get from Kool G Rap, Nas, Ray, Ghost, or Griselda. And I'm saying this because I believe that the stories from those artists were likely inspired by events that they either participated in or else witnessed their crew doing. But with Elzhi here, I just got the sense that he was making it up. Not that he necessarily needed to live that lifestyle in order to make a good storytelling song. But the whole idea of this screenplay thing was kind of corny to me. You know, it's kind of like how some people out there had an issue with Busta Rhymes talking about coke on top of a Griselda beat. Now, personally, I didn't have a problem with Busta doing that, but I know it annoyed some people. While I gotta admit that the storytelling that Elzhi offered was very vivid and the bars were precisely constructed on these two tracks, I just couldn't get into them because I don't like fantasy or imaginative rap. I like realistic depictions, and the premise here was that Elzhi was just writing movie scripts, so that made the whole thing less interesting for me. After this, we get Potential, which has a beat that sounds like some old Ninth Wonder production. This one is cool as he's switching it up to do a little harmonizing. This song wasn't bad, but it's not one of my highlights. However, I can appreciate his aim to branch out a little. The following song, G.o.d, is a conceptual record which uses the acronym G.o.d to describe all the things that people worship in place of God. So in a sense, it's all the counterfeit gods that people unknowingly pray to. I do like the minimal and hypnotic production here, although I will say that technically AZ already explored this g.o.d acronym theme back in 2009 on his underrated album g.o.d, Gold, Oil, and Diamonds. The way Elzhi sounded on the chorus was giving me some strong OC from DITC vibes. I don't know if anyone else heard it, but it sounded exactly like it was OC doing the hook. Next up, we have Master Class, in which Elzhi is taking underdeveloped rappers to school. There's really a competitive MC spirit theme going on with this record. The beat is a little darker, grittier, and harder hitting than some of the others, but it's all about Elzhi demonstrating why he's regarded as such a high level rhymer. The album closes out with Jason, which is another battle hungry track. I'm getting some Royce da 5'9" vibes from this one. He's spazzing lyrically over this suspenseful and ghostly beat. It's a strong way to close out the project as he's pretty much barring you to death. Overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 out of 5. Like I said earlier, Elzhi isn't the kind of rapper that I would listen to on a regular basis, but he is an elite level spitter who put together a dope and consistent album. I could see people giving this a 4 even. What I liked about this project is that the beats were all pretty solid, even though I could have used some variety. They were all pretty much good. As far as what Elzhi brought to the table, I liked how he had some introspective songs, and that is something that I like because just being able to rap well is great, but I need to feel the artist on some level. I also liked how he gave us some storytelling records, even though two of them, Guns and Boats and Thugged Out Zombies, were based more in fantasy than actual reality. And he also supplied us with some solid tracks where he is just rapping his ass off. So I have to give him his props and his flowers for doing those things, even at the end of the day, if I would rather hear artists like Conway, Mozzie, Ransom, 38 Special, Scarface, Styles P, and Nas, I still respect Elzhi for being this great and pure MC. My favorite tracks include Early Bird, Night Owl, Hot Winter, Cold Summer, Ferndale, g.o.d, and Masterclass. Let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section below. What should I check out next? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Elzhi, 7 times down, 8 times up. 1.